Freedom. Freedom. Why is Instagram not going live? What up, people? There we go. All right, cool. So this is How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. The book that changed everything. All right. You're not as free as you think you are. Right now, you're probably trapped in multiple invisible prisons, and you don't even know it. You're waiting for the government to change. You're staying in a relationship that drains you because you've already invested so much time. You're doing what your parents expect instead of what you actually want. You're angry about social issues you can't control. And here's the wildest part: the cage isn't real. The bars are made of assumptions, false beliefs, mental traps you've accepted as truth. Okay, hold up. Can I just do this? I can just do this. In 1973, Harry Brown published a book called How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. It's not about politics. It's not about revolution. It's not about changing society. It's about something far more radical: taking complete control of your own life right now, regardless of the world around you. Brownie identified 16 specific mental traps that keep people enslaved in circumstances, other people's expectations, and their own limiting beliefs. And he gave a step by step blueprint for escaping every single one. Today, I'm breaking down the most powerful ideas from this book because if you apply even half of them, of what's in there, your life will never be the same. Warning: this will challenge everything you believe, your obligation, morality, relationships, and freedom itself. Warning: this will change everything you believe about your obligation, morality, relationships, and freedom itself. But if you're ready to stop being a victim of circumstance and start actually living your life, let's dive in. First, we need to redefine freedom, because what you think it means is probably wrong. Personal freedom is living your life as you want to live it. Not living the life your parents want, not the life society expects, not the life that looks good on Instagram. Your life as you want it. Real-time performance. What up TikTok? Bum bum bum. So most people aren't free. Most people remain unfree, not because of external forces, but because they overlook options and cling to limiting assumptions. Here's the two root causes. Number one, unawareness of alternatives. You don't know what options exist. You assume the choices in front of you are the only choices. You think it's either stay in the job or be homeless. False dichotomy. Number two, unchallenged assumptions, the traps, beliefs you've never questioned. I should be selfish. I have to obey the law. I need to fix society because before I can be happy. These assumptions can leave you just as enslaved as you've always been. Think about it. How many rules are you following that you never actually agreed to? How many obligations are you carrying that nobody actually imposed on you except yourself? The prison is in your mind. And that's actually good news because you have the key. So here's the radical core of the rational self-interest. What Brownie says: maximizing your own values genuinely expands your collective value. The controversial part. See, what Brownie does is he challenges the conventional morality, questions why selfishness, or greed are assumed to be evil, argues that pursuing your own happiness actually helps society. The logic: when you're happy, fulfilled, and operating at your best, you have more to give. You create more value. Everyone benefits. Contrast: when you sacrifice yourself to meet others' expectations, you become resentful, drained, and less useful to everyone, including yourself. This is not about being an asshole. It's about understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. The most generous, creative, productive people are the ones who put their own values first. The practical maxims of this positive decision. All right. So here's kind of a key principle. Most positive decisions, choosing among options that increase happiness rather than merely trying to avoid the worst outcome. What does this mean? For most people, which option is least bad? How do I avoid disaster? Constantly in danger control mode. Free people. Which option excites me? What would actually make me happy? Constantly building towards something better. Don't just stay at a job because quitting seems scary. Ask, what job would I love? Then figure out how to get there. This is the mindset shift from defense to offense. This is the mindset shift from defense to offense. Stop playing not to lose, start playing to win. Your default question should be, what do I want? Not what should I avoid? All right, so now let's get into the traps, okay? All right, now let's get into the specific mental prison that Brownie identified. We'll start with the ones about how you see yourself and make decisions. So, trap number one, the identity trap. You should be someone other than yourself. How it shows up: I should be more outgoing when you're naturally introverted. I should love networking when you hate it. I should want kids and marriage and career success when you actually don't. Why it's a trap. You chase goals that aren't yours. You try to become someone you're not. And even if you succeed, you're still miserable because it's not authentic to you. The solution: be yourself fully, unapologetically. This doesn't mean never grow. It means grow in your direction, not someone else's. Stop trying to fit into a mold that was designed for someone else. The people who love the real you are the only ones worth keeping around. The other identity trap: assuming others will act the way you would. Here's the problem: you expect people to be honest because you're honest. You expect them to reciprocate because you would. Then you're shocked and hurt when they don't. The solution: accept people as they are, not as you wish they were. Then decide if you want them in your life. Trap number two, the intellectual trap. Your emotions must always meet some rational standard. How it shows up: I shouldn't feel anxious about this. It's irrational. I have no logical reason to be sad. This fear doesn't make sense, so I should ignore it. But here's the warning: don't let the intellect tell you what you should feel. Emotions are useful signals. Why it's a trap. When you invalidate your emotions because you're illogical or you disconnect from variable information, your gut is trying to tell you something. Feelings aren't facts, but they are not meaningless. Your subconscious picks up on things your conscious mind misses. Honor the emotion, investigate it. Don't just override it with logic. Feel your emotions fully, but don't make major decisions while emotional. More on that in the next one. Number three, the emotional trap. Major decisions make major decisions while dominated by strong feelings. Decisions made in heightened emotion often harm freedom. Delay important choices until calm. Examples of emotional decisions: quitting your job in anger, proposing in a rush of proposing too fast is what I'm trying to say, basically. And while you're in like too much lovey-dovey state. Sending that heated text, making investments during FOMO or panic. You choose based on temporary feelings, then live with permanent consequences. The solution: never make an important decision when your emotions are dominating your mind. The practice: feel the emotion, don't suppress it, but wait to act. Sleep on it, cool down, then decide. The decision will still be there tomorrow, but your emotional state won't be. Some of the worst decisions I ever made were when I was angry, scared, or infuriated or infatuated. This is especially true for quitting jobs, ending relationships, major purchases, or confrontation. Trap number 4: the morality trap. Blind obedience to a moral code created by someone else. Using a rigid external morality can weaken your competence and anatomy. Create your own principles. How it shows up: following religious rules you don't actually believe in, living by shoulds from society, parents, or culture, feeling guilty for things that don't actually harm anyone. The problem: when you follow someone else's morality into questioning it without questioning it, when you follow someone else's morality without questioning it, you become a moral child, obedient but not free. The radical take: you need to decide for yourself what's right and wrong, not in a chaotic way, but in a thoughtful way. The approach: what are my actual values? What principles serve my life and happiness? What morality makes sense to me? This is terrifying to most people because it means taking responsibility. It's either to follow the rules and blame them when you're unhappy, but true freedom requires creating your own moral code. That doesn't mean do whatever you want, it means consciously choosing principles that align with the life you want. Examples: maybe you were raised to believe selfishness is evil, but I would ask, is it? Or is it actually necessary for a good life? The traps, part 2: unselfishness, group, and the government. Now we get into the traps about how you relate to other people in society. This is where things get really controversial. Trap number 5: the unselfishness trap. You must put others' happiness above your own. The argument: society flourishes when individuals maximize their own value. An expanding pie world allows everyone's wealth to grow. Be selfish. Sacrifice for others, but put yourself last. That's conventional wisdom: is be selfless. Sacrifice for others, put yourself last. The counter: when you prioritize your own value and happiness, you become more capable. You create more value. You have more to give, and you build genuine relationships, not resentful ones. Put on your own oxygen mask first. You can't help anyone if you're suffocating. This doesn't mean screw everyone else. It means take care of yourself first. The people who give the most are the ones who are fulfilled, not depleted. Resentful giving helps no one. If you're doing something for someone and feeling resentful, angry, or drained, you're in an unselfishness trap. You're in the unselfishness trap. The false belief: you achieve more by merging your identity with a group or organization. How it shows up: joining a political movement to change the world, pouring energy into corporate loyalty, hoping for recognition, defining yourself by a tribe or community instead of individual values. The problem: in groups, your contribution gets diluted. Rewards get distributed regardless of individual effort. You lose autonomy to group consensus. Credit goes to the collective, not you. As an individual, direct links between effort and result. You keep 100% of the value you created. You maintain full control. Groups can be useful, but don't sacrifice your identity to them. The moment you can't disagree with the group, you've lost your freedom. I'm not saying never join groups. I'm saying don't expect groups to solve your individual problems. Trap 7 through 10, the government traps. There are 4 government related traps. The government is useful and supportable. The government is a corrosive institution. Corrosive, whatever. It can't give you freedom. It can only restrict less or more. You have a duty to obey the laws. You might choose to obey laws to avoid consequences, but you don't have a duty. That's an imposed belief. The government will enact reform for favor. You can't control what government does. Stop waiting for it to fix your problems. The government is so powerful, it can prevent your freedom. Only if you let it. There are always ways to live free within even restricted systems. The core message: stop looking to government, either for salvation or excuse. Focus on what you can control. This is a hardcore libertarian stuff. You don't have to agree with all of it, but the point is stop giving the government power over your mental freedom. Whether you hate the government or love it, waiting for political change to live your life is a trap. Activism might make you feel good, but it won't make you free. All right, the next traps. The despair trap. All right, let's go with this first. These next traps are about how you let circumstances control you and how to stop. The despair trap. Other people or circumstances can permanently prevent your freedom. How it shows up. I can't be happy because my spouse won't change. I can't succeed because of my past. I can't be free because the economy, society, or the system. No one can truly imprison you except through your own acquiescence. People found freedom in literal prison camps. You can find it in your current situation. This is not toxic positivity, it's radical responsibility. Yes, circumstances are hard, but they're not all powerful. The question isn't, can I change this? It's, what can I control? All right, the right traps. Invoking your rights to ensure freedom. Relying on others' sense of duty or enrollment is futile. People respond to self interest, not abstract rights claims. What doesn't work? I have a right to respect. You should treat me fairly. I'm entitled to this. What does work? How can I make this mutually beneficial? What do they want? How can I align with what I want? How can I align that with what I want? Rights are a legal concept, but in daily life, self-interest rules. You can scream about all your rights all day, or you can figure out what the other person wants and negotiate. One approach leaves you bitter, the other gets results. The utopia trap, the false belief. You must wait for society to improve before you can be free. The response: you can't change the fate of nations, but you can secure your own freedom regardless of politics. How this shows up: I'll be happy I'll be happy when we have universal health care. I'll start my business when taxes are lower. I'll travel when the world is safer. I can't thrive until we fix systemic inequality. The problem: you're outsourcing your happiness to forces you can't control. That's not strategy, it's surrender. What can I do now in the world as it is to create the life I want? Yes, society has problems, always has, always will. But people built businesses during the Great Depression, found love during wars, and created art under oppression. Don't wait for utopia. Build your life now. The burning issue trap. The false belief. You must get involved in every moral or social crusade. This is everybody. The argument compelling social issues are usually distractions from your personal objectives. How it shows up constant political arguments on social media, attending every protest, getting emotionally invested in issues you can't affect, letting the news dictate your mood. The cost, your time, your energy, your mental health, actual progress on your goals. Most social issues are beyond your control. You have one life. Spend it on what you can actually change. This doesn't mean don't care about anything. It means choose carefully what you invest in. Ask, will my involvement actually change this? Or am I just signaling virtue and feeling stressed? Most burning issues are designed to keep you anxious and engaged. Don't take the bait. All right, these final traps are about bad decisions you keep making. Let's fix it. Let's fix that. All right, the false belief, past time, effort, or money spent obligates you to continue a losing course. How it shows up. I've already spent 5 years on this degree. I can't quit now. I've invested 10 years in this relationship. I have to make it work. I paid for this gym membership, so I have to use it, even though you hate it. The problem, the past is gone. The only thing that matters is, does continuing serve your future? The truth, sunk costs are sunk. They're not coming back. The question is, what's the best move from here? Example, bad thinking. I've spent $10,000 and 2 years on this business that's failing. I can't give up now. Good thinking. I've learned valuable lessons, but this isn't working. What's my best option now? This trap keeps people in dead end jobs, toxic relationships, and failing projects for years. The longer you wait, the more you'll have invested and the harder it gets to leave. Cut your losses, move on. Your future self will thank you. The box trap. The false belief. The cost of escaping a bad situation is too high. Every day you're in a bad situation incurs a cost, usually higher in the long run. There is almost always some way out. The metaphor, you're in a box, it's uncomfortable, limiting, painful, but you convince yourself that breaking out would be too expensive, too scary, too hard. The reality, every day you stay in the box costs you happiness, time, opportunity, health, growth. The calculation, cost of staying, ongoing daily suffering times days remaining cost of leaving, one time discomfort. Usually leaving is cheaper. Examples, box, terrible job, perceived cost of leaving, might struggle financially, uncertainty, actual cost of staying, misery every day for years, health issues, missed opportunities. Box, toxic relationship, perceived cost of leaving, loneliness, starting over, actual cost of staying, daily damage to self worth, wasted years. Here's the advice, compute the cost to exit, then pay it sooner rather than later. People spend years in boxes because they overestimated the cost of leaving. What if you just left? Like actually calculated what it would take and did it? The box is expensive. Freedom is usually cheaper than you think. Practical note, don't overthink small decisions. I see people spending hours pondering a $15 expenditure. Time wasted, money saved. Forget it. Stop wasting your time. The certainty trap. The false belief. You can act as if you have absolute certainty. The caution. Treating beliefs as infallible leads to risk blind decisions. Admitting uncertainty is key to making better choices. How it shows up. I know this investment will pay off. Goes all in, loses everything. I'm certain this person is perfect for me. Ignores red flags. This is definitely the right career. Doesn't consider alternatives. The problem, Certainty feels good, it's confident, but it's also dangerous. The reality, you don't know the future, neither does anyone else. Act accordingly. The better approach, acknowledge uncertainty, diversify your risk, keep options open, prepare for multiple scenarios. The principle, never invest resources you're not prepared to lose. Confidence is good, overconfidence is catastrophic. The people who lose everything are the ones who are 100% certain they couldn't. Stay humble, stay flexible, don't bet everything on one outcome. All right, how to actually get free. Okay, you now know the traps. Let's talk about how to actually escape them and build a free life. Principle number 1, choose positive alternatives. The maxim, a free person spends most time choosing among attractive alternatives, whereas most people merely avoid worsening situations. The shift from what's the least terrible option to what would I actually love? Practice. Don't just endure a bad job, find one you'd enjoy. Don't settle for okay relationships, build great ones or choose solitude. Don't accept mediocrity, pursue excellence. Principle number 2, escape boxes immediately. Identify your boxes, bad job, relationships, your living situation, etc. Calculate the real cost of leaving. Pay it now rather than accumulating daily suffering. Here's the warning, the longer you wait, the more painful it becomes. Cost of staying equals daily suffering, days you'll stay, times the days you'll stay. Cost of leaving, one time discomfort. Usually leaving is cheaper. Action steps. Make a list of your current boxes. For each one, write what would it actually take to leave? Do the math. Is staying really worth it? All right, principle number 3, control your emotions. Never make an important decision when your emotions are dominating your mind. The practice, feel your emotions fully, don't suppress, but delay action until calm. Use downtime to plan for difficult situations. When challenges arise, you're prepared. Examples, when to wait, quitting a job in anger, ending a relationship during a fight, making financial decisions. Bum, bum, bum. I lost where I was. Making financial decisions during panic or FOMO, sending emotionally charged messages. Principle number 4, be radically authentic. Never lie or present a false persona unless literally life threatening. Why it works. Honesty builds trust. Authenticity attracts the right people. Pretending is exhausting. Being yourself is sustainable. The practice, stop performing for others. Say what you actually think tactfully. Pursue what you want, not what looks good. Let go of people who don't accept the real you. Principle number 5, set personal rules. Rules for life. Never invest resources you're not prepared to lose. Always leave free time to seize opportunities. Refuse quittable over unforeseen expenses. Pay them and move on. Never make important decisions during emotional highs or lows. Don't spend hours pondering tiny decisions. Why rules will help. Remove decision fatigue, protect you from traps, simplify your life, keep you focused on what matters. Your turn. What are your rules? Write down 5 to 10 principles that would protect your freedom. Principle number 6, manage relationships wisely. In troubled relationships, emphasize what works. Refuse to participate in harmful dynamics. Have hard conversations when calm. Be willing to leave if it's not serving you. In good relationships, preserve time alone and personal interests. Don't merge identities completely. Keep time together, quality over quantity. Maintain your own life. The controversial part, focusing on your happiness in relationships If relationship doesn't add to your life, reconsider it. Principle number 7, prefer direct action. The concept direct action equals what you can do yourself. Indirect action equals requires others to change. Always choose direct when possible. Indirect is weak. Wait for government to fix the economy. Hope boss gives you raise. Expect partners to change. Whereas direct is strong. Build your own income streams. Switch jobs or negotiate yourself. Decide if current partner works for you as is. The power. Direct action puts you in control. Indirect action leaves you helpless. Modern parallels and why this matters now. The book was actually written in 1973, but it's more relevant now than ever. Here's why. The modern connection. Traps equal cognitive distortions. Intellectual traps, should statements, emotional traps, emotional reasoning, identity traps, comparison thinking. Modern therapy is catching up to what was told 50 years ago. Direct versus indirect equals circle of influence. Stephen Covey. Focus on what you control, not what you can't. Box trap, comfort zone, sunk costs, blah, blah, blah. Why it matters, and power attorney mindset, blah, blah, blah. All right. So here's the invitation to freedom. So what do you do with all this information, right? The core message boils down to one idea. If you are far more free, all right, you are far more free than you realize, but you'll never experience that freedom until you stop waiting for permission, stop following someone else's rules, and start building the life you actually want. The traps are real. You're probably caught in several right now, but here's the beautiful part. They're mental, which means you can escape them the moment you see them clearly. The practical challenge. Here's what I want you to do. Step 1, identify your biggest trap. Which one resonated the most? Where are you the most stuck? Step 2, identify your biggest box. The situation you are tolerating that you shouldn't. What's it actually costing you to stay? Step 3, make one direct action. What's one thing you can do this week that moves you towards freedom? All right. I think that was pretty sick. It's all about just like realizing that human beings are the only creature on earth that domesticate themselves. We've been living with rules that we did not agree to at any moment. Got a bunch of people on Kick that are bugging me. What up, TikTok? I think this was pretty sick. I'm gonna keep doing a bunch of these. It's a great book, though. You guys should definitely read it. Totally changed my life. It's How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. I think the biggest takeaways are, you know, optimize your life for your happiness and figure out what boxes you're stuck in or tolerating, and realize that you can change your life at any moment and you can leave those boxes at any time. And one of the most important things, or the formula to living a good life, is act on your highest passion every moment that you can, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can possibly take it until you can take it no further, with absolutely zero expectation for what the outcome should be. Remain in a positive state, let go of negativity and fear-based thinking. So if you can escape from the traps and escape from the boxes that are holding you back, and focus on your passion, your highest passion, and then you work on that highest passion every moment that you possibly can until you no longer can, with no expectations, you'll live a great life. All right. Later, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Talk to you in the next one.